Hey YouTube, what you know good? He is the Reverend, and we're back with some more of that fresh art goodness. So, what are we working on today? Well, today it's drawing 19 for OCtober 2020, where I drew original characters of my own and some made by friends, comrades, and fellow artists. This one is another one of those weird ones. In fact, this is one of those examples of what happens when my brain won't shut the hell up. I don't really know exactly how to explain it, or at least tell you exactly what this is that I'm drawing without just going into excruciating details, so I'm just going to go ahead and do just that. I not only do illustrations, but I also do 3D work. I went to college to learn 3D animation, and while I'm capable of doing animation, they didn't properly teach us how to do 3D modeling, so I've been all on and off learning 3D modeling so I can get back to doing animations. In fact, a couple of my outros, occasional outros for some of these videos are some of my animations, specifically by the time of this video, I've posted an outro with a few redeads from The Legend of Zelda, and one of Nero Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanicus' fifth rule of the Roman Empire, as seen in the Fate series, dressed like Santa. You know, to do the meme. But because I do 3D work every now and again, some people have asked what I was doing it for. Everyone assumes that if you do 3D modeling, you're planning on making video games. That's not something I really ever considered. I mean, I considered it, but it's not something I would really think about. I want to do film. I want to do my own films, short films. Maybe get into it, get in a big production at a studio or something. At least that was the original idea. But since it's so daggone difficult for anyone to get their foot in the industry nowadays, it looks like just going indie is the way to go. But while you do that, while you do figure out what you can do by your onesies as a freelancer, you start to actually take things into consideration that you may not have really taken too seriously prior. So yeah, while people who learn about me doing things in 3D keep asking if I ever think of making games, the idea would occasionally pop in my head, and I would ask myself, if I ever did make some games, like, what in the world would I make? Well, there's really only one thing that I can think of that I would absolutely make if I actually did make some games. The one I really would, the very first one I would ever consider making would be one of my favorite genres, a beat 'em up. And so I had this idea just running in my head. I still have the idea in my head. I even have the storyline set up in my head, you know, a real basic, like real simple motivation to get out there and start beating things up in this little beat 'em up idea. But for some reason, when I come up with these ideas and run through them in my head, if I don't control myself, if I don't control my brain, my brain's going to start thinking of some really weird stuff. And this is where we get this weird idea. I had this idea that if you play a little, if in this hypothetical beat 'em up game, if you were doing too well, like if you were going through these levels and not dying, or maybe if you were taking too long in one level, you know, if you're just kind of, you know, puttering around and not getting things done, you would be met with a very unfortunate situation where the screen starts to slightly tinge red, and you see a flash of lightning, and out comes this, just out of nowhere, this random bonus boss slash punishment creature that I call the Superdimensional chicken. I don't even know how it popped in my head. I'm just thinking of like the character, the player character, just running through one of the stages, just about finished beating up all the enemies and is about to re-get to the exit, when just boom, and then you just hear someone yelling, "Chicken!" and and out comes this chicken, and it doesn't just teleport in. It's a giant freaking chicken with like a visor, and I imagine it's like a time travel, like, or an interdimensional like chicken, like it's hopping dimensions and like time traveling, and just shows up just to beat the crap out of you for no good reason. But the way it shows up, it doesn't just teleport in. No, it's got to be weird. I pictured it, and for the longest time, I wasn't quite sure how I had this idea, where the idea came from. But then I remembered, almost like a repressed memory. If you've ever seen the live-action Super Mario movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. From the left side of the screen, the body with no head, the chicken's body with no head just comes flapping in, even though chickens can't fly. And from the right side of the screen, the freaking head, disembodied head, just comes flying in from the other side of the screen, and the head and the body meet in the middle. But the head is spinning like a freaking frisbee. I had no idea why I was thinking about that, and it clicked. That's that weird like video effect that happened with Dennis Hopper's character Koopa, and one of those weird animatronic Goomba-like creatures that happened during like one of the last scenes in the movie. If I can find that clip, I'll put it in this video and you'll see what I mean. But there's not a lot about this character, and I don't know why I decided to draw the Superdimensional chicken instead of the actual character that you would play in this hypothetical beat 'em up game. But now that I think about it, I should totally do something with that. But should I draw the character? Should I model it? I kind of want to talk about this hypothetical beat 'em up too, but you know what? That's a topic for another time when I'm not running through all these OCs. But before we wrap it up, I might as well give you a little hint on what it would have been. The whole concept of the beat 'em up was like this is a very simple premise, because you don't really need a big premise for like a beat 'em up. Like in Double Dragon, someone just walks over and knocks your girlfriend out and carries her off, and you come out there and you go beat up everyone in that city to go find her. Very similar situation here. Our main character is just outside jamming in some good tunes when someone just knocks them out and steals their wallet. And that's it. They wake up, notice the wallet's gone, and they're going to tear the town inside out if they have to. Turn it inside out and tear it apart to find the jerk who stole their wallet. And that's really... Oh man, no, and you know what? No, we totally need to build this. I don't know if I'll ever make the game, because I don't know jack about programming or Unreal Engine, because you know no one's using Unity right now. But I should totally at least build like a 3D model of the characters so you can get an idea of what this would look like. Oh yeah, that actually is not a bad idea. I will put that on my to-do list. But with that said, let's just go ahead and wrap this up for today. If you like what I do, consider subscribing. If you want to support this little project, remember I do commissions and have a Patreon. So till next time, take it easy, memento mori, and I will catch you all in the next one. Kill the feed.